Welcome back to our first podcast.
We'll be talking about generational curse.
So, mommy, how do you feel about parents like putting out their kids at 18 or like charging them rent?
I feel like a BJ's yelling my name. Somebody needs to go stop him real quick. While me keep going. I feel like kids being charged rent at 18 is considered a generational curse because at the age of 18, we should be training our kids
Mm-hmm.
out to be responsible and pay bills
Yeah.
and stuff like that. But charging them rent while they're going to school and going to work, I feel like is a little bit too much for an 18-year-old
Mm-hmm.
because even with us as grown adults, we struggle sometimes with going to work and paying the bills where most of our check goes directly to bills. So
Mm-hmm.
imagine at 18 how much stress that would be.
Yeah.
But putting your kids out, that's a horrible generational curse to me. I feel like when your child is ready, they'll leave the nest.
Mm-hmm.
Well, how do you feel?
Well, I don't know. On the rent thing, I feel like doesn't make any sense because you're a teenager, you're 18. Well, you're a young adult now, but you're still trying to live life. So I'm not trying to put your little job, which is probably not even getting that much hours, especially if you're in school. Like you gotta like have your school hours and then you have your time when you're outside of school. But then when you're outside of school, you still gotta do homework, you still gotta study and stuff, and you still gotta have
Don't forget the
time.
chores.
The chores, you gotta do chores at home. And if you have a boyfriend or a girlfriend, you got time for something other, and you got like time for your friends, and you got time for yourself. It's just like a lot. And then to be able to like have to pay bills on top of that, you gotta worry about your bills. You have to worry about all this other stuff. Like, gotta worry about your grades and stuff. Like, it's too much stress for like this one young person too. And then you starting to get out in the world. You start learning about taxes and stuff and all this stuff. It's too much for like one person. I know it's what you mean. I'm not doing that. So yeah. And then kicking out, I just feel like it's even worse. Like to kick your child out is something different because like I don't get the point of that. Like you don't kick them out and what do you expect them to do? Especially like if you don't teach them nothing from beforehand, if they don't have no common knowledge of how to live out on their own, then it's just like
Keep them out with no tools.
yeah, you get them out with no tools, and like it just you're still holding them back. Even if you would kept them at home and charging them rent, either way you're still getting held back by your own parents. Yeah, I don't like either or option. Unless I feel like if you want to charge your kid rent, like keep the rent and put it in a savings account for them. Sometimes it'd be hard for teens to really say them like, oh yeah, we saving, but real life we dipping in our savings, taking a little money here and there, like, oh today I really need to get this. Like I'm just take it, I'm put it back in my next check. So
Don't feel bad. We do that too.
so I feel like you should if you do that then like do it that way. But if you're just taking the money and you're just that's your spending money, you go out and you do this weekend, but you're not really putting it towards no rent, then it's just like
So
yeah.
I agree with you. I feel like if you're gonna collect rent, it should go in a savings account or a savings account which grow interest. So at a certain time when your child is in need of that money, you'll be able to provide that help for them.
Yeah, you could just give it
Because
to them.
also a generational curse is that we don't build an empire for our kids before they get to the age where they have the tools to handle the empire that you built for them.
Exactly. I feel like a
I'm a
lot
little
of
behind though.
we,
I got you though. I got
I
it.
mean, like I feel like a lot of parents be doing that though. They don't be thinking about building a savings for their kid because like that could help your kid. Because me, I didn't go to what's the name college out of state. But like, if I don't go to college out of state, like that's like a lot of money a year just for in dorm and all that stuff. Like, imagine I had to just like get loans and stuff. Now I gotta pay off these loans, and I'm like in my 30s still paying off loans from
Yeah.
college back then. I feel like
In
yeah,
depth.
yeah, you get in depth. Yeah, I feel like parents should learn from their mistakes to help their child not make the same
Learn
mistakes.
from their parents' mistakes so their child won't go through the same thing that they went through
Yeah.
as parents. I agree.
Yeah. All right. What's next topic?
So the next topic is other generational curse is were you raised to love or to survive? I can start off with that
Yeah. Go
one.
ahead.
I feel like I was more from the West Indies, so we are raised to survive. Especially as a female, you're more stern to survive. There's no feeling at all.
Yeah. Bring that
And
rough in you.
I'm like that with you.
Yeah, I say.
Not with the other two,
The other
but
two lucky. The other two are
but with
lucky.
you, I was like very stern. Like you can't feel, you can't feel, you
Mm.
can't feel. Um, I just recently learned how that you're human too, and you go through emotions just as much as I go through emotions. So I'm still learning. This is the beginning. We're not even in the middle yet.
Yeah, it's a start. It's
It's
a
a start.
start.
It's start. So that's how I feel. I wasn't raised to look for love. I feel like love is a bonus. The way I was raised, so that's a bonus because I have to survive in order to love.
Yeah, that was deep. That was deep. Oh, for me, yeah, I feel like in the early years, like I was raised to like to my mom was like really stern, real tough. Like she don't want to see no tears. She's loud, yeah. She cause of a story like she don't play none of that. Like she don't want to see you crying
I'm
about
still learning. I'm
nothing.
still like that a little bit. I'm
Yeah,
learning.
she's still like that, but she's definitely more like, if I come to her like, oh, somebody at school messing me, and when you go to school, you better handle them. You better not be crying. No crying. No crying. I'm like, okay, like, yeah, don't come home, you love to fight, like everybody's on your butt. Yeah, it's like a lot of like, yeah. But I feel like the older I got, the more like she started being more like loving. She like she's
Aww.
looking, yeah, she's looking at me more like not like I'm just her child, like yo, oh, your child, same child's place. I don't care what you have to say. It's more like, oh, sit down, let me know how you're feeling. Like, just speak your mind. I want to see how you like speak without feeling like scared. Like I'm gonna curse you out, or I'm gonna be mad at you, or there's gonna be some consequences to when you say how you feel. I feel like yeah,
That's our little 5 minute thing that we do,
yeah,
where she can say whatever she wants, how she feels. She can curse if she want to curse, stomp, do whatever she want to do, get it out the way. Even though as a mom, I'm like, I'm about to knock her ass out. But I don't do it because that's a 5 minute rule. She gets to
yeah,
express her feelings because we also have to remember that our kids are also humans just as much as we're humans.
exactly. Yeah, I appreciate that because child, it was a
It's
journey.
tough
It
struggles in
was
the
a
beginning.
journey. No, for it was a journey. You know,
Tough struggles in the beginning.
but I'm glad it's like not like that no more because I feel like I feel like a lot of parents now are starting like newer parents are starting doing that now, like kind of like sit down and talk to their kids. Because a lot of people just be growing up and they just like don't be talking to their parents, become their parents off, like this is like they're nothing.
Yes,
Yes, I feel like it's better more if you just like allow your kid to just express how they feel and not suppress their feelings and stuff.
I agree. So, were you raised or trained?
And I really ignore that. Raised or trained?
You want me to answer
Yeah, go
that?
ahead.
I go ahead. I got it. I got it. I feel that a lot of us are more trained than being raised. Like we're trained to wake up in the morning, go to school, which prepares us to wake up in the morning and go to work, or wake up at night, or whatever shift we have to go to work, or anything like that. We were raised that you can't open the refrigerator too much. When the light bill go up,
Oh, okay,
we were
okay.
raised that you must turn off every light because that's going to make the light bill go up. So that's more trained. Being raised is allowing, not saying that we're completely equal because we are adults and our kids are our kids, but at the same time, they're still, like I say all the time, humans. So I feel like being raised and being trained is two different things. When you're being raised, you're being shown how to survive and how to love at the same time, which can get very complicated as being a parent. And also, we can't take what our parents did and we found that it was something wrong with it, and then we do the same thing with our kids. We have to like end the generational curse, stop it there. If something is wrong, you if you feel like something is wrong that your parent did, and that would have, if they would have did it differently, or different way that they would have done it, and that would have made you feel differently or made your life differently, then that's what we got to do. So I feel like I was trained because my background is West Indian. We're trained. We have to be a lawyer, doctor, a nurse, or
Nurse.
something. Else, we're not nothing. So
Anything in the
yes,
medical field.
you have to be in the medical field or something big. In my background as a West Indian, but I was more trained than being raised, and also started training you too. Like you have to be a nurse. You have to be a nurse. You have to be a
Hmm.
nurse. And until I realized that it's more to life than training a child. It's so much more fun when you see the personality that the child has because each child have a different personality. Trust and believe.
Hmm.
So how do you
Um.
feel?
Well, yeah. I feel like I feel like I don't really feel like you really train me as much. I feel like in the beginning, yeah, you were really stern and stuff, but as time went on, as I think back more on it, I feel like you were just giving me like the tools you feel like I need to like go out into the real world, and I have no problems. Like when I be doing certain stuff, I be like, oh, I know how to handle this situation. 'Cause my mom be telling me how to handle the situation. I know how to do. I don't need to like, I don't need to worry about nothing. Like if I get pulled over, I know exactly what I need to do. If I no, for real, like if I need a job application for a new job, I know how to do that. I gotta make a resume, I know how to do that. Like I feel like you gave me certain tools, like make sure that I was good. That if you were to just like something was to
Pass
happen to
away.
you,
Yes.
yeah, like I knew exactly what to do, how to handle this, all this stuff. So yeah, and then I feel like you also now you're more loving too. So like on top of the two that you're giving me to like go into the real world and like be able to live on my own, you also started giving me love, and now I'm like I feel like our relationship is getting better, and we're getting closer, and that's like even better. So yeah,
Okay. Thanks. Thanks. Thanks.
I'll try.
So the next topic is
Not considering children's feelings, yeah, that was a big one for us.
yes, that was a struggle for us because, like I said, in my background of raising, kids weren't allowed to have feelings. It's you do what I say and that's it. You don't have any feelings. You don't feel anything. You don't pay no bills here. This is I put a roof over your head. This is what it is. But which is it's bad because once again, they are humans and they do have feelings. Eventually, they grow up to be adults, and like we are adults. So I do feel like everyone should take their children's feelings into consideration. Now, 5 years ago, kids ain't got nothing to say. You are,
You said you
what
do
you
not pay
mean
the
you got feelings?
bills.
You gonna eat this macaroni and salad?
Oh my god! Remember the spoiled macaroni? Oh my
It ain't
god!
spoiled.
I'm still
But
traumatized.
kids do have feelings. They are humans, so you have to consider their feelings in order for your lifestyle with your child to be balanced. How do you feel?
Hmm. And I feel like when I was little, I just always remember like
No slacking.
no, none of that. Like I don't want to hear no tears.
Nope.
Like I don't want to hear you crying. Like none
You
of
gotta
that.
be tough.
I was like I had to have this tough skin, but I'm a really emotional person. So being such an emotional person, and then having a mom that's like, I'm not playing with you. I'm not playing with you. I'm being serious, and like real tough alligator skin. I'm just like, oh, it was so hard. You know what I mean? But I like that now that I don't have to like do that. Like I can just speak about how I feel. Like I'm feel certain way. I'm just like, yeah, I'm just not feeling this. Like I don't feel like I want to. No, I'm not in the mood for none of that. And I'm able to just express my feelings easily. But I don't know. I feel like when parents don't allow their kids to speak on their feelings, like it just like kids grow a resentment against their parent because they're not able to like speak on exactly how they're feeling. So I feel like it would be better for everybody if like their parents like just like allow their kids
Listen.
to speak, yeah, and they listen. Yeah, listen is to like I could speak all I want, but we're not listening to exactly what I'm saying and taking what I'm saying
Comprehending.
or comprehending it. It doesn't like what I'm saying. It just makes no sense. Like go in one in regard to others. So like, I'm glad I'm not doing that word because it was stressful.
Struggle.
Stressful struggle for real.
So until we change our frame of thinking, we'll continue to recycle the same experiences over and over again, meaning that what your mom taught her mom, you'll teach your daughter or your son. So I feel like we need to crush this generational curse, and instead of building generational curse, build generational traditions,
or generational wealth,
generational
especially in the
wealth,
black community.
especially,
In the black community,
especially. And also, the black sheeps of the family are normally the ones that break the generational curse. I'm also the black sheep of my family, and I'm breaking that generational curse.